On the Track is a monthly web TV show about cryptozoology, natural history, green issues and whatever else the team feel like making up as they go along. Enjoy!
Oh yes, he knows where the camera is, doesn't he?
He does. You're a complete tart, Archie.
Hello everybody. The other day we had a very interesting time because an internationally famous film crew came to interview me. And they asked me if I had any ideas for films that I'd like to make. And so I told them about my planned blockbuster, which is called Wacky Tail Has a Dump, in which a little dog called Wacky Tail, and that's played by me, of course, wanders around the house looking for interesting places to have a dump, with comedy results.
They call him Waggy, Waggy, who craps on the carpet, blames it on the cat, then is sick on the mat. Hello, this is Hennis. I think you've got to stop being stupid, Archie, because Uncle Louis and Auntie Charlotte will never let you get away with that.
That shows how much you know, you stupid chicken. I already have.
I really like the old credits.
Now, I think you should take this as an object lesson in life. Don't believe anything that a little Jack Russell says, because we did indeed have a TV crew come to see us the other day, but they came to interview me about mystery cats, rather than Archie about his revolting-sounding feature film.
What's the best thing about being a cryptozoologist?
I can tell you the worst thing about being a cryptozoologist. Girls are just not impressed by it. You'd have thought that women would be fascinated by the idea that there are still people who have the sort of Victorian ethic of trudging through jungles to try and find answers to the world's mysteries, but on the whole, chicks really, really don't understand what on earth we're doing. There are exceptions, but not many of them. The best thing is the fact that one feels that in a funny sort of way, we're fighting a sort of gallant rearguard action against the 21st century. Because in the 21st century, everybody thinks they know everything. And we don't. It is the most incredibly arrogant thing that our species believes, that we know all the answers to life, the universe, and everything. And in fact, we know only a tiny fraction. And if we still are looking for the answers to mysteries in the British countryside, it sort of puts our achievements as far as understanding the way that the larger searches going on at the moment for life on Mars and things, it certainly puts them all into perspective. And I rather like that. I feel that in many ways I was probably born far too late, and if I'd been around in an earlier period, I would have fitted in much better. And being a cryptozoologist, in some sort of way, does fulfill that need. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you may wonder why there's all sorts of stuff missing from behind me. I'll be telling you about that later on. But over here, we have two special guests. We have Charlotte and we have Carl. And Carl has Archie. Now, Charlotte, can you find that box that we found earlier? You two are going to open it and going to do, with Archie's help, going to do a show and tell. You're going to do an unboxing and then a show and tell. And we're going to check and see whether Carl knows what it is. Archie's interested. I wonder who lives in jaws like this.
Good catch. We want to know what it is.
I know what it is.
It looks like a... Well, it looks like a thylacine, probably.
You clever boy!
Yeah, they can go to almost 90 degrees, so it would be sort of... It would open up to about like this. Which is
That's remarkable.
a really impressive... Yeah. Maybe even like that.
I think it's one of the best 40 quids that I've spent on eBay. Possibly the best 40 quid I've spent since I bought Richard Muirhead that silly hat.
He loves that hat. It's cool, isn't it?
Anything else that comes to mind looking at it? This isn't, I'm not asking trick questions here because I know nothing about thylacines apart from the fact that is one.
Yeah, so the molars at the back are slightly different to a dog's. You can see they're slightly different shapes. But yeah, I've never seen one before, so I knew it was different from a dog's. You know, you could tell the difference because they use them in certain universities around the world to try and fool students.
Well, usually, as you know, I try to keep my sitting room rather nice. But Olivia is coming here at the weekend to take that over there that I'm sure you will all recognise, her mother's Welsh dresser and a load of other things that belong to her mum, home with her. And so we are rearranging the house massively to try and get all the things which Olivia is going to need to go through, sorted out as quickly and as sensibly and as easily as possible. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's also a full moon, and it is a bloody awful job. When Charlotte arrived earlier, I burst into tears and she ended up having to give me a big cuddle because I was feeling so sorry for myself. I'll be very, very glad when it's all sorted. But it's also horrid seeing things that were my darling wife's that came into the house when we got married, leaving it again. Oh, for heaven's sake, I'm going to stop talking about it now or else I'm going to burst into tears again. So forgive me for that, ladies and gentlemen. I do my best not to feel sorry for myself on camera, but today it's a bit hard not to. But we've got something much more exciting for you. because the boys are once again returning to the Forest of Dean. Once again, the team consists of CFZ Assistant Director Carl Marshall, Andrew Geordie Jackson and Tim Whittard. And what are they going to find today? What are their plans for today? Let's go and find out.
Okay then, Geordie, what are we doing today?
Well, we're returning to the Forest of Dean in Gloucestershire. On our last trip, our field trip, we placed a camera near a hide we found, and we're returning about 2 weeks later to see if anything's been caught on the night camera, and hopefully it'll be something positive. Also looking for tracks and are there any evidence of cats while we're here on this trip, so hopefully we'll be in luck today. Very excited to find out what's going to happen next.
So this is our 5th expedition.
Yep.
Yeah, so hopefully we're going to find some tracks, some spoor. We're always looking for any biological samples that we can find.
Yeah.
And most importantly, we're picking up Tim's camera.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
This area is also well known for reports of big black cats, which are obviously most likely going to be melanistic leopards, if they do exist at all. The evidence that we're looking at seems to imply something much smaller. We are going with the idea that it's probably a lynx, but we can't guarantee that. It could be a jungle cat or something like that. It could even be some sort of hybrid between a domestic cat perhaps and a jungle cat.
Or even a wild cat possibly.
Yeah, exactly. We know that the area of the hide had that unusual smell. So hopefully,
very pungent.
exactly. I mean, hopefully the camera will pick up whatever was doing that. One thing that surprises me, I'm not aware of any reports on this road of anybody seeing a lynx. And considering that the location is reasonably close to this road, you would think that would be the case.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very strange that.
But then again, maybe we just haven't come across the report.
No. Yeah, we're just arriving at the destination. It's quite a busy road, this. Is this across the last time?
Yeah.
One of the most important parts of this stage of the operation is to ascertain how much potential spray, how much potential food there is in this
Right, we've got plaster in the car in case we do see anything. Won't be making that mistake again.
The natural history of the United Kingdom was evolved through whatever. We have the most artificial ecosystem in Western Europe. Most of the time, we are Irish, and whereas all across Western Europe, the egg-based vegetables, white plants, the wild plants, all across Western Europe, the wild carnivores are slowly making their way back as the world gets more forgiving. And we are the only country in Western Europe not able to have a population breed. So as they approach the frontier of the next country, they must be beware of predator. They're hoping, of course, that the camera will have picked up pictures of this huge predator that lives in that lair. I hope more
He's just changed his mind after
oh,
we're right near it.
Got a feeling it was this way, wasn't it? Oh yeah.
Well, someone's been here. Well, it looks like there's been activity.
Boar have been in here, for definite.
Just approaching it now. Something with the railway was worrying and we were afraid of more but now it's public land. This one goes to a factory.
That's well hidden, man.
Did a good job.
Did a good job there, mate. As you
No
know,
one
mate.
can see that.
That is a job well done.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's been a lot of activity here, seen it since.
Yeah, this wasn't here, was it?
I don't remember.
Right.
What's it smell like in there, George?
Not that strong now.
No?
I think the rain's dampened it down a bit.
That
It's
would
not-
make sense, alright.
Yeah, if it was warm, you'd smell the pungency of the chemicals in there.
Yeah.
Yes. What is that?
Okay, so we go through. That's us just leaving it set up on that thing.
Yeah.
What the fuck's that?
What is that?
Blob monster.
It's something, isn't it?
Alien. Right. Oh, hey up.
What is that? It's very close, isn't it? What's that there coming out there?
Antennae. That's a. Or it's lasers coming out of his eyes. That's a grey. That's a grey alien that laser in.
Fella.
Gone. Whatever it was.
The 62.
Well, of course, it wasn't a grey alien. That was Marthy and Georgie messing about. But we did get some interesting pictures here. There are an awful lot of small rodents in the area. Look at this. And although one likes to think of the big apex carnivores like lynx and puma and bobcats as being creatures who live off deer and sheep and the occasional human, that's just not true. They're quite capable of eating small rodents like this, and there's certainly a lot of them here. And look, we've also got a deer.
Okay, what do we think?
Well, we've just arrived at the area, and unfortunately, there's nothing as far as cat found in the area we're looking. But there's some nice pictures of farm mice and also squirrels and maybe a badger. We're not sure yet. But unfortunately, it doesn't smell anymore. So maybe, if anything that was in here has moved on. So we're gonna, the three of us are gonna have a little scout around and find another area to put the camera and leave it in there for maybe a couple of weeks again. You know?
Yep, that
Onward
sounds...
and upward.
Yep.
Yep. The one thing I would add is that the anomalous sort of gnawing and sort of chewing that had taken place on the inside of that sort of den, probably explained by the rodents which we picked up on the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that
does,
explains it.
definitely. And actually these marks here, where I've got my finger by there, those would correspond perfectly to the two incisor teeth of a small a mouse, basically.
So we have explained the weirdness of this little patch of the woodland, I think.
Absolutely, but
We found a bit of a mystery and we solved it. It's just your common rodents, but it does prove that there is those small mammals that occasionally might fall foul to a cat snaffling. So
Yeah.
there's prey base here. We'll keep looking.
we'll keep looking, yeah, and yeah, we'll get somewhere eventually. It's just unfortunately this time we've not come across anything unusual.
Just the secret squirrel.
And the smell that we thought was produced by some sort of cat has effectively gone.
But it's been raining since, hasn't it? So
yeah,
there's a chance that's impacted things as well.
Okay.
Well,
If you want to support us and help us make more content like these, please press like, subscribe, follow our Facebook page and check out our Patreon.
And as the ghost of Joe Strummer and I are telling you, please remember to ring that notification bell. Otherwise you won't be told when we've got another show. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and everybody else, that's the end for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, thank you for sticking with us, and I'd like to say a big, big thank you to Carl, Graham and Louis for doing what they do each episode, and particularly to Carl and Moffy and Geordie for their filming this week. It's really, really outstanding, and I don't know about you, but I find the ongoing saga of what may or may not be in the Forest of Dean totally fascinating, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to see what happens next. I'd also like to say to my lovely stepdaughter Olivia, who is the mother of my granddaughter, I love you, my dear. I know that coming here today and taking away your mum's stuff and indeed your mother's ashes must have been a really, really difficult thing for you to do. It was pretty horrible for me as well, but I can only imagine what it was like for you. And I am so proud of you. You dealt with it with poise and grace and affection towards your silly old stepfather, and I'm so proud of you. Anyway, enough of stuff like that. I could, I suppose, show you what my newly minted sitting room with my new sofa looks like, but I'll probably leave that until next time, because there will be a next time, next Saturday, 3 o'clock. It's CFZ time, and I will be back, and hopefully you'll be back to see me. So until then, be seeing you.